Usually on the line, we do a call-in show. Here on the line is a podcast. Jimmy's about to do a call-out show because he's about to call out a Mormon therapist. Ooh. Here we go.
This episode is brought to you by our patron supporters. Today's patron of the day is Elizabeth Chris. Patrons get the show always ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline.
We've mentioned several times before, we usually pick our patron of the day specifically amongst the patrons who are in the comments, leaving comments, talking, because we read all of those comments, but even more than we read anywhere else. But here's the thing. We got to put down a little bit of a rule here. We want to pick patrons of the day who are in the comments because it proves they're listening, but also no longer will we pick a patron of the day who mentions patron of the day. So if your comment includes the phrase patron of the, can I be patron of the day? Another day I'm not patron of the day. No longer shall we pick those who request it, because some of y'all are trying to get creative or straight out like blackmail-y. So we're putting okay, there's a wall down. Leave a comment. We love those comments, but like chill, you know? So. Hi, everybody. I don't know. I was trying something new. Welcome, everyone, to The Line. It's a podcast. It is August 7th, 2025. I'm putting the year in for the archive because obviously 1,000 years from now, the scholars will be studying us. Like, how did they get everything so right? How did they do it?
They're going to watch and be like, how did two gorgeous people have brains that big and juicy too?
Shouldn't they have been busy out being hot? Like, we found the Instagram archives and we're pretty sure they weren't supposed to have to think for a living. But
I've been saying that. I've been saying that for years. I don't think that I should have to think.
Why don't I get birth privilege of good genetics as though I have good genetics? First of all, this is a very controlled angle and shot. I'm not even happy that you can see sort of the recession of based on my dad's hair and the other hair, this should be where it stops for the rest of my life, unless I do something silly like go vegan. But the comments are coming.
Someone's going to hate that. Someone's going to hate that.
This should be where, so anyway, I don't even love y'all seeing that. Okay, listen, this is very controlled. As soon as I stand up, and now, as Alyssa likes to point out for me, when it's supposed to be only my joke to say, you see I have a frog body with a frog butt. It's kind of like everything's done in this way on purpose. I'm still very, very awkward in a lot of ways. I was thinking about this the other day. All right, we're not going to talk as in depth as I talked about it with my partner, because it would be arguably weird. But do you remember like being a teenager and how you didn't know how to exist in space yet? Like you'd go like in front of mirrors and you try all kinds of like, is this the way I should casually stand? Mm-hmm. What do I do with my hands, my elbows, my shoulder? What are arms for really? Like when they're not doing things, what are legs? Where should I be doing stuff? And then I was thinking like, I started having sex at a younger age. Mm-hmm. How awkward.
Oh my God.
Would those two concepts together have been? What was I doing with my elbows?
We don't know.
When I was first doing the thing. And so, but this is like one of those weird topics where I'm like, technically I'm now talking about myself, a teenager having sex. If it weren't for pedophiles, it would be just a funny topic. Right. The idea of where it'd be like, how awkward must these people be? Only talking about myself. I must have been so awkward. And I have to say, I didn't really know what I was doing with my hands at first. And so if you're listening right now and you're looking for tips, and by the way, this is going to sound like a tip for guys, but I have it on good authority from my mostly queer woman friend group. Girls, why are you also who are banging girls and guys who are banging girls and using their hands? They're not trying to simulate being plowed with the fingers. I mean, sometimes there's a place for that, but there's a lot of people defaulting to finger banging,
right? In and out,
going, like with intensity. And so, just people, a little bit of advice here. A little bit goes a long way. And a lot of people have different proportions of what having a good, where you can have somebody who's communicating whether they want you on the inside or outside, but also spending some time to actually learn what to do outside. Because also the number of times you have a partner who they think they aren't really into hand stuff, and it turns out their old partners only knew the finger slamming.
Yeah. And I feel like this has gone around enough, but the this motion.
Play Fruit Ninja.
Do the this motion inside. You don't need to. Yeah, like the come hither.
You don't have to limit it to one finger. I will say, getting older, arthritis is making this a little bit harder. It is. It's making it a little tougher. But yeah. There's a little sweet spot right inside if you hook your fingers upward. Trim your nails first, you freaks.
Also, it should feel like sort of ridges like the roof of your mouth, similar to that, and that's a G spot.
Ridges. I've never actually looked for the like a physical thing. I've just kind of tested different distances in, because the only thing I ever can think of like feeling and been like, okay, there's something. Rarely is a person wanting their cervix plowed very much.
Certainly not.
Maybe played nearby.
Yeah.
But usually not just like, don't just be pushing their cervix up in them.
No. Although I have heard of people saying that the space above the cervix, like if that is, I'm so scared of that personally. Like I'm like, don't.
No, okay, so there's a thing. If you got the two fingers in there and you can get the cervix between the two, there's a way to do that I've found drives some people quite. But it only works during certain parts of the month too, because it's I think it's in the lead up to the period where that's even accessible, because the cervix is descended. Oh my God, we're getting so educational in this one. The cervix is actually descended to a location where you could find it to do such a thing.
Right. Wow, look at you. You know so much. I always forget about your background in this, but yeah.
She's saying, I always forgot you were a slut.
No, you went to school you were starting
that's true. I was going to be a gynecologist. No, I never got into medical. That was the idea.
You were going to do it, though.
I think so. Yeah. I was on a track. I wanted to once upon a time be a doctor, and gynecology or spinal research. And I was leaning more toward gynecology. Was where I was going to go. Yeah. I don't talk about that, my education background and stuff much on stuff, because I like to generally just present myself when I'm doing these debate things. Also, school is so long ago that it's barely relevant. I've learned much more since leaving school than I learned in school about any topic I actually had any interest in there. Really all of them, except math. Math is probably the only thing I was better at back then.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyway, I like the presentation of being able to just be like, dude, I'm just a guy. I don't fucking, who gives a shit? I'm just talking to you. Just talking to whatever.
I cannot wait for you to get the thing that I sent you, because it's really funny, in my opinion. But it is also a joke. So like
my brain immediately went to crabs. You sent me crabs?
No, Jesus Christ. I got it on Amazon. I
think you can buy crabs on Amazon.
Oh my God, not crabs, I hope. I need to know what your reaction is going to be, and I think it should get to you I think over the weekend. So hopefully our next episode.
What did it say? The 9th?
Yeah, the 9th.
Be Saturday.
Yeah. So
I'll try and record. If I remember, I'll have Luthien, my partner. I'll have her record it.
Yeah. Okay, great. And then you'll have to potentially show it off next week, but we'll see. Maybe
sounds wearable.
You might open it and be like, "You're annoying." Oh, I know you hate annoying. I don't know. You can call me annoying. I don't care. And be like, "You're annoying, and I hate you." So
this means that this has something to do with an argument we've had at some point, and you think whatever you sent me makes you win.
No. Oh, no. It's not about winning. Oh. It's not about winning literally at all.
It's just like just poking the wound.
A little bit. It made me giggle. I saw it somewhere else, and I was like, he's got to think this
We're setting up a lot of suspense.
So funny. Okay, yeah. And you'll see it. It's like also literally not a big deal and not that crazy, but
I went to a Pokemon convention over the weekend, and I got these Abra and Alakazam themed Pokeballs.
Ooh.
So they've made it onto the set behind me for people who are just listening. Okay.
That's fun.
We should probably get to stuff, because we have a lot to talk about. There's so much news, but before we get started, I want to start on Reddit. And I actually just DM'd the person within the last hour. I DM'd the person who made this Reddit post. And so I just want to read it to you and tell you what my response is.
Okay.
Because I basically have invited somebody onto the channel as a result of this, but it might not be what you think. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Little teases. Here's the read. This is an r/ex-Mormon, which is a thread I spend plenty of time in, though I don't post in that often. Every now and then, if I want a little ego boost, I'm like, I can go get an easy 30 upvotes for no reason if I post anything. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to join that one. I'm curious. What's in
r/ex-Mormon.
Yeah.
You know, r/Mormon also has a lot of ex-Mormons in it too. It's kind of like, if anything, there's not a lot of TBMs, true believing Mormons over there, but there are a lot of like progressive Mormons.
Interesting. Okay.
Wow. Anyway, this is where I said I'm calling out somebody. So the person I'm inviting on the channel is not actually the person who wrote this.
Okay.
But there's also a lot of PIMOs in the r/Mormon, which means physically in, mentally out.
Got it.
So they're still attending, but they know a lot of us to have a PIMO phase. Mine was long too. Mine was a long time. I was still giving prayers and meeting with the stake president when I was PIMO. Anyway, this is the title, My Wife Betrayed My Trust. I Don't Know What's Next. It's not an r/am I the asshole. It's not a cheating thing, which I'll be honest is why I initially clicked it. I was like, did somebody cheat on you with the bishop or something? Let's find out. Why is this an r/ex-Mormon? I thought it was going to be something salacious. No salaciousness necessary.
Okay.
Yesterday, I came home from work having returned Monday from a 2.5-month paternity leave, and my wife confronts me with the fact that she started seeing a church therapist. Apparently, she's been confiding in her old missionary companion who came to visit us when our daughter was born. My wife has been telling this friend about all of her faith crisis problems, and this friend has been helping her get back on track and even got her in contact with a church-approved therapist. I went to a church-approved therapist. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. My wife didn't tell me any of this and set up an appointment this Tuesday while I was at work. She told the therapist that I no longer believe in the church, and the therapist told her not to worry, that she has proof the church is true and handles faith crisis problems all the time. Apparently, she can prove the church is true and lay my doubts to rest, so my wife wants me to book an appointment too. When I told her no, she acted like I'm the bad guy. We got into a fight because we had agreed we would not mention this stuff to anyone. I've kept my part of the agreement and have not told a soul about our faith crisis, nor have I talked to her about it, and I've been more than supportive and let her process on her own without interfering. Now, I will say, and in case the person who wrote this hears it, that whole shut off communication thing is like why lots of things don't work. It kind of reminds me of the people who become polyamorous, but it's like the like we want to be poly because we both want to go and do things. But the way our poly works is you never let me find out and I'll never let you find out. And that'll be poly. And it's like, okay, that doesn't work. Yeah. Closing off the communication and saying like, you have your faith crisis in private, I'll have mine in private. You don't want to be pushy and make sure they're at the same spot. But people need somebody to sound this off of. So when you're like feeling betrayed that she went and talked to her friend, and based on some other stuff, it seems like this is that person's kind of only friend really around. But if you're closing it off and she can't feel comfortable even confiding in you and just saying, just do it in isolation and by yourself, that's not how humans work. People do need to talk to process these things. And in a way, you've had clearly, because you've posted a lot about it on Reddit, you've actually had a lot of people in input, even if they've not been more personal and in person. And you could say like, well, it would have been fine if she did the same kind of thing using like Reddit or whatever. That might be true, but that may not be the way she processes stuff best. She may be different. And to tell you the truth, I feel like this is often the case with like differences in certain kinds of men and certain kinds of women. I would far more expect a man to be able to like sit and just read a bunch and be like, oh, this person's thing and this person's thing, and try to have a completely separated from what's important emotionally and stuff to them experience. Whereas I expect a woman to have kind of a more holistic, for lack of a better word, approach of like, I'm going to treat the intellectual side of this and the emotional side of this, and I need community to do that. I think guys need it too, but we're conditioned not to request it, not to ask for it. And so we don't. And that's why to be honest, when it comes to men versus women leaving the church, women leave much healthierly, I don't know what the word, in a much more healthy way than men tend to leave. And men tend to become like these nightmare libertarian, I'll never let anybody fool me again. So now I will be shitty to any community except for the few that confirm the biases that I want to maintain from the church. Like I'll still be queer phobic. There's a caricature of what men look like when they leave the church. Women have much more diverse personalities when they leave the church from my observation. And I think that there's probably data that backs that up because I think I've seen it. As far as political alignment, not some of the more in-depth things I've said. Anyway, continuing on. So there's just a little bit of, you were already kind of doomed for something to break at some point because you weren't allowing each other to talk to anyone else about it or to talk to each other. That just doesn't work. Anyway, this is where it continues. Now she's acting like I don't want to talk to the therapist because I'm stubborn to know the truth. I want to remain in the dark and fall to sin. I feel so betrayed, but also I feel like I've done everything in my part to have peace in my house and I can't win any way I look at it. I knew I had completely lost when I asked her how she felt about Nelson's hat video, the very video that cracked herself. She said, he's a feeble old man. Give him pity. He has so much on his plate. He was probably tired that day. I believe they're referring to a video where Elder Nelson, the current prophet of the church, was showing how Joseph Smith translated the Book of Mormon and put a hat on his face, but it could have been something else. I don't keep as up to date with the ex-Mormon stuff when I'm out here debating mostly Christians. But anyway, fuck my life. What I didn't want to happen happened, and I sat by and did nothing. So basically, because it was isolated, she did figure out a way to reconcile that very silly thing. But you have to understand, this is her life, and you guys isolated. Of course, in her world, she wants to maintain it and do what she can because you guys weren't working on it. So it's what you would expect. But anyway, for context, I'm a generational Mormon who went on a mission in Honduras. Met my wife in Honduras. She is a native there and was also a missionary, but is a convert. She's the only member in her family to be an active member. We got married right after our missions ended. We rushed, and now we have a 2-month-old baby girl here in Idaho. I posted on the matter a lot. So there's more stuff. I'm not going to go in and read the other stuff. Here's when I say the call out thing has happened. I've sent them a DM. I've put it in a comment below this, but it's one of those Reddit posts where a lot of comments already existed. So it may have gotten buried. So I did DM to try and draw attention to it. Supposedly, allegedly, this therapist can prove the church is true. Maybe I should just find my comment and read it. Yeah. Read what I have posted, because I think that may be the best way to do it. And any other individual who specifically, I want to say, you need some kind of accolade, because there are, for example, active Mormon podcasters who not only did I already suspect, but have had confirmed from people in the church who would know that the church does not consider them good representatives of the church. But if you're a church-approved therapist, which means your office is probably in the church building, because that's where mine was anyway, I would accept that. If you are a bishop or higher, or you can get a stake president or higher to say that your stake at the very least, and the church in general, basically endorses you as a representative, I will have you on the channel, and you can take on this exact same offer. But here is the offer that I have put. I'm Jimmy Snow. I don't know if you're familiar with any of my online work, but I'm officially offering this therapist the opportunity to come and prove the church is true in front of tens of thousands of people at minimum, likely more, because we would title that Mormon Therapist will prove the church is true in this video, or something in a way that I guarantee you a lot of people will end up watching. I will give her access to my full platform and even give her the opportunity to present it uninterrupted for whatever amount of time she says she will need before I cut in, ask questions, or rebut the claims if she is offering untrue support. Rebutting the claims if they are not true is how I wrote it in there. But yeah, whatever look, within reason. I'm not going to give you 8 hours, but 20 minutes, easy. More than that, we'll talk. But at minimum, 20 minutes, totally uninterrupted to make your presentation. If you need more than that, we'll talk about what that time would be. And if we could maybe cut it up into sections, because more than 20 minutes all at once would be a lot. But if you're saying 30 minutes and then you're good, we could do that too. Mm-hmm. I will say there was a person who once called who was like, I would like 10 uninterrupted minutes and then I'm going to leave at the end. It's like, well, then no. So wait. You want the time, but you don't want to. And there was a person who we did give, I want to say 5 minutes to. And we're like, all right, well, that's okay. You got your 5 minutes now. Let's talk about those. No, I just was here to share that message. And it was like,
my God.
We cut off things like that beforehand now. And we know to be like, you're not going to get 5 minutes uninterrupted, but make sure that people know when they're calling in that they're allowed to just proselytize or whatever. Anyway, so I add, shoot me a DM if we can set it up, because this can work both ways. If this therapist now turns down the opportunity to convert not just you, but tens of thousands of people to the truth of the Mormon church, because she can prove it by your wife's logic, turning it down would mean she knows it's not true. So that was it. You're afraid to do it. You're afraid to have the appointment because you know that it's true. All right, well, we'll give you the opportunity. And I'm not going to do anything unfair. There's no point there. You can go watch all my videos. I never invoke anything magical or go, well, because God's evil. All you will have to do is bring the facts. If you can actually prove it's true, I will reconvert to Mormonism on the spot. Easy. I just suspect that what you consider proof requires a heart that is longing for the church to be true. And it doesn't actually satisfy anybody who takes an actual skeptical approach, who isn't hoping to return, to get back in that game.
Yeah. And this was a direct message to the OP?
Well, that comment I put publicly, and then I sent the OP a direct message. So if people do go to ex-Mormon, they want to find it. It's probably down at the, it's only got 3 upvotes so far. It's probably down at the bottom. It's probably one of the oldest ones. Well, by the time the time people listen to this, could be even further, but we'll see what happens. I've sent a DM to the OP to say, hey, I sent that comment, want to draw your attention to it, to the offer I am making your therapist, who apparently can prove it. It has to, if you can actually prove the church is true, aren't you almost obligated to take advantage of such a platform?
Yeah,
literally,
that's a good
will
point.
prove it in front of tens of thousands of people minimum. It would not surprise me if that episode would actually break 100,000 views. Tens of thousands, not to mention we usually make things into clips and stuff. We'll share that shit. You will have the ability to influence huge numbers of people. Why wouldn't you?
I'm confused about why he thinks he betrayed his wife's trust.
She betrayed his trust.
Oh, she did. Okay, sorry. I misread that.
Because they had an agreement. And so technically it's correct, but it's also like, okay, here's an extreme example. I'm not comparing the op to this, but it's like when a person is utterly horrible to the op isn't like this, but imagine as a metaphor that shows the extreme to make it a little more obvious. If you are extremely neglectful to a person and also like abusive or something, and then you're like, oh my God, you cheated on me. I never saw this coming. When you're like, no, you actually made the formula. I could have prophesied this was going to happen because you are filling in all of these things that lead to infidelity, where it's like people have needs, you don't fulfill them, they're going to go get it somewhere else. Technically, yes, the trust was broken, but the rules set up to keep the trust guaranteed that the trust was broken. The rule, you don't talk to me or anybody else about this, about something that is so life-changing and forming and would change your very existence, like your understanding of the universe around it. Yeah. I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
It was going to happen. And maybe it hurts your feelings that instead of breaking your trust, instead of breaking the rule and going with other people, she broke the rule. She didn't break the rule and come to you. And you can be hurt about that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be breaking the rule. A rule is going to get broken, and she is probably trying. Your crisis is not the same as hers, and how you feel, even how you experience feelings, won't be the same as hers. And she was almost certainly trying to just feel okay again. and accept these huge life choices weren't a mistake, instead of having a good, healthy system where you can go, those choices were a mistake, but they can form me into the best version of myself ever. Having an actual optimistic, because if you're in isolation, what is the appeal of leaving the church?
Agree. Church offers people answers, but it offers people community.
Community, right. Bad answers, but community.
Bad answers and community.
When we come back, we have so much to talk about. Since we'll probably start with the Ammon Bundy story. If y'all remember him, the Mormon guy who I have so much to say about it, but we'll just say occupied government land, but because he was white, didn't get murdered by the government for doing so years ago. There's an update to that case, but then we definitely want to talk about some developments with Ghislaine Maxwell. We want to say once again as loudly as possible every single time, release the Epstein files. We're going to be talking about the South Park episode, the new one this week.
Oh, I didn't know there was a new one.
Did you see it? Okay, it'll be spoiler free because there's only one thing about it I want to talk about. It'll be mostly spoiler free.
Honestly, probably won't watch it, so you can spoil it for me.
I think when you hear what was in it, did you watch the last one?
I saw clips, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay. When you hear what's in it, you might want to.
I watched.
And
sorry, go ahead.
Dean Cain joining ICE. We'll talk about that. And I know what you're thinking. Who? Exactly. We'll be talking about all of that and more.
Oh my goodness.
And Texas and these lawmakers that have left. We'll be talking about all of that and more when we return.
Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove they were supporting this podcast right from the beginning? Well, you can. Head over to linemerch.com. That's linemerch.com and pick up some founders merch for The Line Has a Podcast that will only be available for a short time and features the rough draft drawn logo that soon will be updated to look less like it was drawn by a 3-year-old. That's linemerch.com.
Welcome back and on to the news. Y'all remember Ammon Bundy years ago? It's kind of an older story. There were people will be listening who wouldn't have really been I won't say you'll all have been born, I assume, when these stories happen. But do you feel like, you know how when we think about our own lives, there's a moment where we kind of look back and it's somewhere between 3 and 6 years old, I became more conscious. Mm-hmm. That's where memories start to become more concentrated. Mm-hmm. But there's also another point in your later in life. I think there's maybe even multiple, but there's a point in your teenage years where you have another, where it feels like you wake up a little bit more and you're even more conscious. And then as an adult in your 20s, there's a point. And then I'm I within the last few years had this additional awakening of oh, everything sucks and is bullshit and I hate it all.
Correct.
And everything's garbage and everything is performative. Oh my God. The performative nature of so much stuff is really getting to me when I watch court hearings online and the way they're they have their little rituals and routines and things they do. And I'm just for whose benefit is this nonsense?
It's a recital.
Right. When there's efficiency at stake, that I get. Mm-hmm. Rituals for efficiency. But when there's all this other stuff and ways, Mr. President, I think, is a dumb honorific. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you'll ever find me using it, even if I meet the president. I think the idea that we let other humans have these honorifics, Your Majesty, that we sort of acknowledge enough. And I'm literally just sitting there being bro, I know you all have poopy buttholes. And Donald Trump, you have the poopiest butthole of them all.
Oh my God.
Right? There is no way that stomach isn't doing fucking crazy shit.
Crazy shit.
That dude is, I guarantee you there is some kind of system. I think there's probably a vacuum just to keep it in actually, I'm guessing that when he sits down, it actually seals the top. I think it's an airtight seal when then they suck out a little bit of air. So it is vacuum so that it all just immediately goes down the pipes instead of otherwise. I think what he does would propel him into the air. When I see him, I'm that guy's shit is so explosive. It moves him. He has a bowel movement.
Yeah. A new meaning to bowel movement. That's right. Fucking gross.
That's right. He's rocket blast. I'm a rocket man. Rocket man. Anyway.
You are very musical today.
I've been singing a lot today. Yes. Yeah. It's not unusual for Jimmy to break out into song. Okay. Anyway.
So wait, what was the story?
Ammon Bundy. Back in 2014, he had a standoff with federal agents trying to, him and several other family members, many armed, basically forced authorities to get off of their father's land because they were going to seize it for like some kind of federal control of the land for cattle. And they kind of won that thing. Like they didn't have too many negative repercussions. So I think that made them feel very like good about themselves. And then in 2016, and this is the only something you could do as a white person, especially under a black president. So you have to like look out because Obama was still president until obviously January of 2017. I'm getting that right? Yep. Ammon Bundy and his brother Ryan led the occupation of Malheur Refuge in Oregon. So if you all remember, there was like a militia that took over a federal land, federal like reservation center. They took it over for 41 days. They occupied this place. And there was this like super hit guy, and they'd be posting like videos of them opening all the support packages they were getting. Like people were sending like packages of ammo and like food and stuff. And it's like, oh my God, thank you. And then they'd be opening like, stop sending us dildos. Why are you guys sending us dildos?
No, that's amazing.
The dumbest thing to do unless you want more dildos. By the way, guys, please stop going to my Amazon cart, my Amazon wish list. Please stop sending us production gear. Please stop. It's really bugging me. Don't send us Mac Minis.
Don't go to my Amazon wish list and get me a brand new laptop. That would don't do that.
Oh, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Stop. By the way, if you get it for the line, we send them to, if you got all like a bunch of Mac Minis, we'd send Alyssa one. So actually don't go to hers. But anyway, don't go to ours. Anyway. 2016, and it basically ended after this super hit guy who was one of the stop sending those dildos guys waving it around, wiggling it in there. He's trying to move somewhere along the land, and he gets pulled over and basically gets out with his gun drawn and is saying the words, y'all gonna have to shoot me. You're gonna have to shoot me. Y'all gonna have to shoot. And he's like charging them with a gun. So they obliged and he died. And that was it. The video is, so you had the video from the outside from the cops and stuff, but somehow to make themselves look good, the other people in the car posted the video from the perspective of being in the car from the pullover, where they're just in there, oh Lord Jesus, oh good Heavenly Father, please protect us in Jesus' name, please protect. They're like praying, like don't let us get killed or shot. And he's like sitting there like rambling about how he's about to jump out and do all this stuff. And it's literally like, no, you definitely fully justified the force being used on you. And if you get out with a gun brandishing it at cops and yell, you're gonna have to shoot me.
Yeah. What do you think is going to
happen? I
happen?
don't care how light your skin is. In America, even the white guys at that point get shot most of the time, unless you're like an ex-cop or something like that. They do have their little group of people where then they just put the shields up or put something between you and them and try to de-escalate, but they're not trying to de-escalate all that often. Anyway, it has been since then, 2016, that all of these, there have been trials and stuff going on, and Ammon Bundy August 6th, I think it was actually when it happened, has been charged $52 million in civil court and has been told he cannot discharge the recent judgment. He cannot discharge that debt by declaring bankruptcy, because this is the man who is living a very privileged life and trying to do like Alex Jones levels of like, oh, I'll just give all my assets to other people and I'll just smoke their cigars and blah, blah, blah. Trying to avoid all of those people. So I mostly just brought that up to sort of be like, hey, Ammon Bundy, as a Mormon, fuck you. As a sovereign citizen type, fuck you. Just generally, fuck you. I'll debate you also. If you want to come on the channel, let's do it. Let's debate the truth of Mormonism or a political debate, whatever you want to do. Fuck you, Ammon Bundy. And I will require one of those. We'll get 1 million knocked off of that 52 million for you. We'll ask the judge, but you'll have to pay us $1 million.
Right. I like how was it last week, we had like a whole conversation, a team huddle to be like, new things coming to the line. Everyone, this is the new stuff. And since that moment, you're like, and I want you to come on the podcast and I want you to debate. And you're like, I said new and I'm bringing new to the table.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. I mean, committed. For the most part, we're going to be announcing to the patrons this weekend all the new shows that are coming. Mm-hmm. I mean, one of them is starting this Sunday. So y'all got to find out first what that is. We're going to be announcing who the LineCon Online Live people will be. Our first sort of mini LineCon that we're going to be doing through Patreon. So anyway, you want to be over on Patreon if you want to hear all of that stuff. We'll throw a little plug in there, but y'all are going to get the first news. But yeah, there's going to be different projects that will have different levels of confrontationalism. I do want to talk to like progressive Christians in a less confrontational. I'm sure there's going to be moments where we discuss a thing we disagree on or whatever, but in a way that's a more not so much Daniel in the Lion's Den. Because as everyone knows, I'm largely regarded as a lion. If you all saw the amount of queerly I am sitting right now underneath this, I've got the crossed arms and the crossed legs. I'm just like, I'm a lion, roar. Someone's going to have a problem with that. Send your letter to I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Anyway, Ammon Bundy, you can eat my ass. It's asshole flavored.
Yeah,
if you put barbecue sauce on it, it'll be barbecue asshole flavored.
Yeah, he should only get that privilege.
I think I hated him even back then when I was still a libertarian. It was like, this is white people shit, right? Nobody's occupying federal land and not getting a violent response and torn out of it by like their dead ankles.
Right. That's dead ankles.
That is the most white people shit I have heard, and I'm a white person.
The caucasity of the event.
I've listened to our music, right? Mm-hmm. This is white people music. Our music, like Will Smith. He's not white, but Will Smith as a rapper is white people music.
That's really funny.
And my argument is, when I was 14 years old, I thought he was the best rapper. A 14-year-old true believing Mormon, I was like, man, Will Smith does not get the respect. He's out here like switch. And Will Smith is trying to rap again right now. And I'm not kidding. I'm a better rapper than Will Smith is.
Yeah, I watched that clip too. It was horrible. And also,
there's a couple. Which one did you see? Did you see I am God, I am Buddha, I am so-and-so, I am cheeseburger,
I don't know. You sent me one.
I am the rain.
Maybe
I am the cheese, I am the candy, I am the feet. I'm just making it up, but it's basically that. But it's just him saying he has a lot of stuff.
He had an album that was like black and green, and I liked that one when I was
I love, and now when I go back and I listen to it and I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah.
He has one whole... Speaking of like it being white people music, he literally has a song about not being black enough to be respected by other rappers where he's just complaining about, but it's literally like, you do know that you're saying this at the time that Eminem was the most popular rapper in the world. So I don't think that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's like when someone is like making content and they're like, the algorithm is just fucking with me. And I'm like,
the algorithm is people.
Or what you made just wasn't very good.
Well, I just tell people the algorithm is people. So the algorithm, it can fuck with you because of your past choices or whatever, but the algorithm isn't a thing independent of people's choices. The algorithm is a thing that identifies what people like and is more likely or less likely to recommend things based on those patterns. So your ability to it tests out everything. And it basically has phases, and it threw that shit out to somebody, and the people that it expected to accept it were like, nah.
Yeah, not into it.
If you think the algorithm doesn't want to show your stuff to people just because it doesn't like you don't understand how the algorithm works. What they want is ad money.
Right.
So they want to put as many videos in as many places as they can, but it has to sustain them. If showing your video likely gets a person is more likely to make a person close Instagram for the day, it ain't gonna do so good, bud.
Do you think
the algorithm is people?
Do you think that applies? Because I think about that with like how there are words that in the sex community, like we can't really say, otherwise our
Sure, there's exceptions to this. There are prohibitions, but there are also people who break through it.
Yeah,
unfortunately, you have to break through it often to get those exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are people who it's like, oh, I wore a thong and I got banned for fucking
nudity
or I had cleavage and I got banned for sexual content. Meanwhile, this giant creator is literally allowed to show half of her areola, and just as long as the nipple part's covered, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know. And I'm like, dude, let us see more bits of areola. Those are the best cleavage photos.
Show us nip.
There was on Reddit this week, there was a person who was like, is there a way to salvage these wedding photos? And they're basically showing that they got a really bad wedding photographer by accident. And somebody was like, girl, you have a nip slip on slide 3. And it was areola, but it was literally like, how did you not notice that before you posted this? Most of your boobs,
so
like it's a very booby wedding dress.
Yeah.
And she's like, the worst part is I think it's her arms over her mother, I think. So it's like her and her mom and just a little bit of nip. And she made the mistake of not deleting the post. She deleted her account. So the post is still around forever.
Oh, shit.
I know. It's like,
no, poor
and
girl.
y'all's faces ain't blurred.
That's rough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's rough.
You got to reactivate that account and delete it
Yeah.
if that's possible. I don't even know.
Wow, that's tough.
Hey, do you like that even amongst all of everything that's happening, taxpayer dollars still will go to like maintaining historical and artistic monuments in some places? Does that warm your cockles?
Yeah, I think it's important.
Well, this won't.
Okay.
In Arlington, Virginia, the military has announced a restoration from Arlington National Cemetery, and it's going to cost $10 million.
What?
For the restoration of a memorial to the Confederacy.
I fucking knew it. I knew it was going to be some Robert E. Lee shit. That is unbelievable.
I don't think this one's Robert E. Lee. This is like one of their Roman grassy thing, like weird things. I don't think Robert E. Lee's on it, but it is a monument to the Confederacy.
Unbelievable.
You remember the people. And when are we going to be adding the monument to the Nazis? When are we going to be? You guys were fucking traitors. You guys were fighting for slavery.
Literally.
Like, you guys, you lost.
Traitors.
And you're gross.
Yes.
Why are we the people who are against participation trophies need Confederate flags? Like, hey, you guys were there too, so it doesn't matter what it was for. You showed up, so here's your trophy. Fuck off. $10 million. This while fucking Donald Trump is changing the ballroom. $200 million to add a new ballroom.
Tacky gold.
And this is a man who is dying. To be clear, Donald Trump is dying, even if he somehow lives another 12 years. He's not on the living more side. He's closer to the end than he is. But also, your term is over in 3 years, bud. You know you're leaving, right? And I don't think he does. I don't think he is planning to leave. I think he's thinking, no, I'm making my future ballroom. I'm going to be here for decades to come. Why is he doing? And then they got rid of the Kennedy Rose Garden.
They did.
All that shit. They like paved over so much. So now a bunch of the grassy and garden areas are just a paved over thing. Yeah, he's trying to make the White House. Here's the thing. They're spending so much money on this to make sure that the White House looks like Trump's White House when he leaves. And usually I'm like, this is such a waste of money. But whoever gets there next, give them $1 billion to undo everything.
Right.
Fucking anything that is like, Trump is trying to like smear. Trump realized he hasn't wiped it well and is now going to the guest pillows and wiping them and putting the pillow back down upside down because he's like, I'm leaving my mark. This is showing me that this is my place, my home, my territory. It's like fucking the house was built by slaves but made tacky by billionaires. That's what's just happened.
Oh my God. Fucking put that on a sign in Home Goods. I'd buy it. That's hilarious.
That was a pretty good one. Sometimes I have a moment.
That was a good zinger. I liked it.
Yeah. I'm going to save that for a thread or something when the story comes big again.
Yes.
Built by slaves, made tacky by billionaires.
Yes.
That's good.
That's the thing that, like, aside from the fact that it's using taxpayer dollars, and they just made all of these cuts to services for the taxpayers. I also wish that he would get literally any interior designer to help contribute to what this is going to look like, because all of it is so fugly that I cannot believe that we are spending $200 million for something to look like if Epcot created the White House.
That's really nice too. The Epcot's much better.
Epcot's better. No, you're right.
So basically just like my dad, okay, when my dad became bishop of this one ward down in Florida, he went to a thrift store and bought a bunch of really cheap picture frames and a bottle of gold, like a can of gold spray paint. And so he spray painted all of them gold, all these cheap frames, spray painted them all gold, and then put a bunch of like church pictures in. So the bishop's office would have these gold framed, because similarly tacky kind of style stuff they do in the temple, but on a budget. And so he's doing it on a budget. That's kind of what they're doing now. Like they tape off anywhere that there's texture and then spray it with gold spray paint and then pull it off. So the textures are all popping in gold.
Yeah.
And gold is tacky as fuck.
I think there's a way to make gold not tacky. Like, you know, I don't mind a little bit of gold.
I'm out on gold.
I know
I'm done with it.
You're out on gold.
Trump, what I had left, Trump ate.
Yeah.
Okay. Rose gold is the first place you might start to get me back in.
No, see, I think rose gold is tacky.
I like a little rose gold.
I think gold when it leans bronze. Like when it's in
get bronze.
Gold.
Bronze be looking good. And I like the way bronze ages.
Nice.
Why go gold when you can get bronze?
Yeah. I mean, he's wrecked the interior design of the White House, which was already really bad. Anytime I look at the Oval Office, I'm like, we couldn't get someone in there. We couldn't get one of the people from Queer Eye to go down there.
Slaves built, but also white people have pretty much always chosen what the inside looked like. Yeah, you know what I did like? I liked Biden's Christmas thing with all the shiny trees and stuff, and they did the nutcracker dance through it. I liked that. That looked pretty.
I don't remember, but this is why we need a president who's either gay or a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said what I said. That's true.
And I'm going to agree. It's sexist, but let's be real. Come on, people.
Sometimes the stereotype exists because it's true.
The way you could have said it and everybody would have been on board. So you can say the exact same thing. The White House would be prettier if it was ran by a woman. People are, so women, blah, 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 blah. All you have to say is the White House would be prettier if it wasn't ran by a straight guy. You give it the inverse, you make it an insult on straight dudes, and everybody's on board. I know I am.
Oh, okay. Wait. Yeah. I don't want to detract.
The problem isn't the lack of them because, you think that's what women are good for? The problem is the presence of the straight guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can we take like 30 seconds and talk about how I had a hate video made about me? Do you know about this? It was
definitely
only up for a brief period of time, but it was this woman whose name on Instagram is Roma, but her name is actually Chloe, I think. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
And she took the video that I made recently and where I said, like, when I make content and then people call me a misandrist and then they say like crazy shit to me, like,
yeah,
I'll be like, no, I don't hate men. This is about like bad behavior across the board or whatever. And they'll be like, yeah, right, whore, like that. And I'm like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm feeling like you're missing the message that I'm trying to, and you actually are perpetuating exactly the message I'm trying to communicate here. So anyway, that's what the reel was. And she made a response to me, to that video that was like, saying that I am a misandrist and I do hate men and I shouldn't be a relationship coach and what are your qualifications and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I have a literal website. You could look up what my qualifications are, but no problem.
Yeah.
God forbid she opens a link. God forbid she did a mere Google.
Yeah.
But she had the video up for a while. And so I commented on the video and like, I don't give a fucking shit. I don't care. And I looked at her tagged videos and she goes on the whatever podcast. The second I saw that, I was like,
Oh my God. We gonna pick you.
Right. I didn't want to say it because I don't like I understand the harm of like the pick me girl thing, but come on. She like it's just so anyway.
That shoe is 9 2/3. That's how much it fits. It is perfectly. It's not a size 9. It's not a 9 2/3. This is a 9.6847. That's how precise they're getting these shoes fitting. And when the shoe fit like that,
what can I say? What can I say?
It do be like that sometimes.
So I commented to her and I said, "Hey Roma, I do a live show every Tuesday called Chewed Gum, and I would love for you to call. It's on Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm not going to be on this week, but I will be on next week, and every Tuesday after that, I would love to discuss this with you. Hope to hear from you soon." Like I was writing to like the principal of a school. Super nice, really cordial. She deleted the post.
Oh,
I was like,
somebody's
really?
so afraid.
And then in my comment section, her followers were like, "Roma would eat you up for breakfast." And I was like,
do it then.
I asked her to come on my show and she didn't want to do that. And she deleted the post.
Said,
so
come eat me. Eat me for breakfast. Do it.
Eat me for breakfast. Whatever.
There's a lot of parallel concepts out here. And I always think about this when the misandry thing comes up. Look, there are some women who'll be like, at this point, men have disappointed me so many times. I am a misandrist. And at some point, it's like, I think you're joke. I think that's tongue in cheek. But if it's not, you should get over that fast. But also at the same time, I'm kind of like, I don't know that I care that much. In the same way that where somebody's like, well, what about when this person of color is racist toward white people? I'm like, kind of understandable, though. Because, like, I don't know if you know what we've done to their people, but I would kind of get that.
Yeah.
Once we get rid of our bullshit, then we get to start working on the coalition of everybody come together. Anyway, it's certainly much more justified than white slavery, which is coming to this concept that I think is a parallel concept. The mistaking of loss of privilege equals oppression.
Right.
If I have a lot of privilege and now equality is being gathered, my privilege goes down, bringing me closer to equality. So even though my status is still higher than other people, I'm mistaking my loss of privilege as oppression, as opposed to these people who aren't even at the baseline.
Yeah.
They're not getting privilege now. They're just getting closer to the baseline if you balance that out. And this is kind of like you are mistaking the loss of misogyny, which is the default male culture that we are raised with. I was raised to be a misogynist. In America, it's almost impossible to escape that. That the loss of misogyny therefore equals misandry. Because if you've got misogyny is up here and misandry is up here, but the baseline is down here where it's neither, and the thing is currently metered like this, but the side that is going up is technically going toward misandry, even though it hasn't met the baseline yet. They're like, oh, well, we're closer to misandry than we were because you'd have to get over misogyny first. Right. And it's like, they're not wanting to stop once we reach to keep going once we reach equality. It's like, all right, now that we've balanced it, let's make it couldn't happen anyway. Like, we live in such a silly, crazy world that men, I don't know the not shitty way to say this. Like, equality is all we could ever achieve, because if men really were oppressed by misandry, they would just throw a fit and kill the women. Right. They would just
that's the thing
bring
is
it back.
It's like if you really were to run with the idea of misandry being dangerous. Okay, the entire let's say all of these women decide that they fucking hate men. What's the consequence of that? Because men run this country. Men are primarily in leadership roles. So why do you fucking care? The only reason that you care is because you're not going to get your dick wet anymore.
Yeah.
And we care because we're having situations where our rights are in jeopardy. So honestly,
unfortunately, the comment sections, like the one you described, they probably are still going to get their dick wet, but they're going to have to hope that these conservative women become sluttier and will share with multiple men, even though, as they say, that's not okay.
Right. So, yes, I don't know.
You hear about Marjorie Taylor Greene is leaving she said she's not Republican anymore because the Republicans are anti-woman. What is going on with her? Because she's still going to be fascisty.
She still sucks.
People were like, oh, why'd you make me agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene on genocide? And I literally was reaching out to people like, don't say that anymore, because her motivations are not ours.
Right.
If you have a Nazi at your rally and you don't kick them out, it's a Nazi rally.
Yeah.
Now. Let's not have a Nazi rally.
Right.
Anyway, she's going through. It's almost like, you know what it is? You're so close. You know what I mean? You're so close.
Yeah.
Like you're getting so close to realizing.
So
and next you're going to start to notice that billionaires are not pro-worker.
She's having a canon event. Everyone just let her do it. Let her do it.
Just
no one
back
say
off,
anything.
Give her a minute. Yeah.
No one say anything.
Yeah, I don't want her as an ally.
Let her process it on her own. She might get there.
I have a brother who's a nightmare person, and the way he argues, nobody who ever watches him argue is like, that guy wins. But he goes away thinking he wins.
Got it.
He yells, he goes, no. Oh, no, because with over. And he'll just say, yes. If you'd be like, atheism is a religion. I'm like, no, it isn't. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, it is a religion. No, it isn't. We don't have a belief system. We don't have a clergy. We don't have, yes, you do. Yeah, Dawkins is a prophet. And it's literally like, so you just are making up what these words mean. You can say common, he's just losing his mind. And I've always said I don't want him to deconvert. Because I feel he would just bring that personality and would go out.
Right.
And just, there are people who are extensions of my life where like people I know will be like, oh, so-and-so I know wants to be like in your world and do that. And I roughly know these people and have seen them interact with people. And I'm like, oh God, I hope they fail. Because that would make our side look fucking terrible. Are they thinking I'm their pathway into this shit? Because I am not.
Yeah.
They are bad at this. They are bad at this. By the way, we're adding 2 new hosts to the line. I'll announce that on
Patreon?
on the Patreon show too. Anyway, Ghislaine Maxwell has been barred from service dog training at this cushy prison camp she was sent to. That's
She's
also
been barred
in news
from
today.
Service dog training?
Yes, she'd gone to a cushy prison camp where they do, so it's like free labor at a lot of these camps, but at the cushy ones, they're fun labor. So barred from participating in the service dog training program at her new minimum security prison camp. She's literally at like a Girl Scout camp situation. She's living a better life in prison than we live out of it, is what I'm saying. Because of her conviction for crimes involving the abuse of minors, the organization that runs the puppy training program, Canine Companions, has a strict policy prohibiting any inmates whose crimes involve abuse against minors, animals, or are of a sexual nature from working with the dogs. Which I'm just, by the way,
that feels like a rule they just made up.
I'm mostly reading from Global News. No, I bet it's existing. I just like anything making her life like. You are such a pedophile, we won't let you work with young dogs, is kind of the message I feel like she has to be getting right now. You are such a pedophile that we're not even going to risk it with little dogs that need their training. That's the level of pedo. And she'd be like, I'm not a pedophile. We're not going to risk you stealing the little dogs and giving them to the pedophile, the animal pedophiles. Can you imagine? Like, there are zoophiles and pedophiles. Are there combos? Are there people who are into just puppies? Not adult dogs. I don't like those old dogs. Are there pedophile zoophiles? Pedo-zoos? Zoopedo? What would you call this?
I don't know. I don't like it. Whatever it is.
This is a thing. And by the way, this would be one of those rhetorical questions in the comments we don't want an answer to.
Right.
This is not one. We will throw open comments, questions out there, and people are like, well, actually, there's a reason why you wouldn't want that on the moon. Which I saw, you fucking nerds. Anyway, we don't want to know whether there are zoophile, pedophile combos. They're only into adolescent animals. Anyway, I'm just happy. Fuck you, Ghislaine Maxwell. I hope that if you do receive a pardon from Trump, you get a physical paper. It gives you a paper cut, which becomes infected, becomes gangrenous, and you die.
I love that. I think that's a great chain of events. Also, we just got
natural causes.
We just got a crazy email. I can't wait for you to read later.
We did?
Yeah. I could see who CC'd on this shit.
We got an email on at the line or what?
Yeah.
Are the contents such I should read them out loud? Which email address? Which email address would I see it at?
Contact at.
All right, we're gonna hang on. I'm gonna send a quick. Okay, to the contact email address.
Yeah.
We're gonna send us to a quick commercial break here, and when we get back, we've got like 6 more stories, but we'll go through them very briefly.
Okay.
Is it 6 more? It's more like 2. It's more like 2.
Okay.
I want to talk a little bit about the South Park episode, which has to do with ICE and an actor very famous who has apparently joined ICE. And that'll be when we return. Why did I just accidentally take a photo of my hand? Oh my gosh. What are we going to do with all that jarsh? Oh, I don't have that email address on this phone. Well, I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's going to be fun. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can
I'm just going to put it this way, people. If you send me an email trying to get justice for how you were treated in an interaction with a host or something, I'm probably going to find out what their response was to you and copy and paste it. So if they told you to fuck off, I'm probably going to respond with, please do fuck off.
Yeah.
Which I did. We'll leave it at that. We're not giving this person any more light of day, but
They don't need more airtime. That's what they wanted, and they're not going to get any more of it.
Please do fuck off. Or go and do like the fucking work yourself and don't be pissed off when you're reaching out to other people to build up a coalition and an audience for you. And you're like, hey, now that I've shown up, could I just have the fruits of all of your work and not return any real value? Would you take a chance on me? Take a chance on me.
Oh my God. Wow.
Oh, by the way, people, we are doing the bonus show today, but it turns out a couple other people, I think, we're still figuring it out, want to join the discussion about responding to the Mehdi Hassan Jubilee video. So we're going to probably save that, maybe record that this weekend so we can get a couple more people in on that. But that should be a fun time.
Yeah.
But please do fuck off. But there will be a bonus show today. Here's the quick stuff. South Park did an episode really, really going hard at ICE and what cowards they are. They're masking culture. They're like keeping themselves hidden culture. Mm-hmm. The whole motivation to be there. There's a whole like part where I'm trying to remember how the ad goes. There's like an ad for ICE and they're like, oh, well, I don't remember what it's that, but Mackie goes in to interview for ICE and they're like, and why do you want to be ICE? He's like, oh, well, I'm unemployed and I need to make my nut. And they're like, all right, you're hired. Come on in. Basically like my motivation is that you guys are overpaying for this.
Oh my God.
Anyway, it absolutely reams ICE, makes this whole bit throughout about Kristi Noem and her fake face that's constantly falling off. And Donald Trump returns. It's a delicious episode, but my favorite part is that they parody. Look, I understand I run a debate channel, so I understand that ideologically I'm different, but they are kind of making fun of the concept at large. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to stop because of that. But Eric Cartman becomes a Charlie Kirk debater.
Oh, my
as well
God.
As Clyde.
Oh my
Clyde
God.
also, but Eric Cartman like starts wearing Charlie Kirk's hair and is doing the like sitting in front of a bunch of people and talking to a college age kids. There's a point where Clyde's doing it too, and somebody makes a point completely different. He's like, okay, well, let me ask you this. What is a woman? And the guy's like, I don't see how that's relevant to, oh, so you can't answer the question. And then like a big thing comes on, another college student gets honed.
Oh,
and it's like,
oh my God, that's
it's
amazing.
Directly making fun of how dumb, but here is the funny and dumb part. First, the White House already, in response to the last episode, called them irrelevant. They did a JD Vance character in this one, and JD Vance posted like, I finally made it in the world, acting like he's in on the joke, as well as Charlie Kirk and a bunch of other people are acting like they're like, oh, we like it when they're making fun of. This is an attempt to get them to stop by being like, haha, we laugh along. The fact of the matter is people have done that in the past and it didn't work. Al Gore never like threw a fit about what South Park did with his character and even like went with the joke in certain ways. And they kept doing it. And to tell you the truth, most of the reason why everybody finds South Park or Al Gore to be a joke isn't Fox News, it's South Park.
Yeah.
It's how they caricaturize his man bear pig is real. And I guarantee you the way they personally feel is different than we have a PR group of how do we handle being made fun of this way. And I hope that Trey and Matt are like, oh, we're glad you like it so much because we're going to keep doing it. And when it starts to become like, hey, we're starting to see why you guys are really stupid because the caricature of them is not that far from you. The caricature of you is not that different. We'll see how it goes. So I like that they're bluffing. I hope Matt and Trey call their bluff because anyway, the other thing that's crazy, there are people on Twitter, you can go look right now, Charlie Kirk retweeted them, who are sharing the scenes of Cartman boning a lib.
Okay.
And are saying, watch Cartman as Charlie Kirk totally own this liberal. They don't think it's a joke. They think they'll be like, Matt and Trey are awesome. They're on our side. They think that they actually owned the liberal by doing the caricature and that Matt and Trey are doing it. These are the same people who thought Stephen Colbert, when he did the Colbert Report before the Late Show, where he was a parody Republican. These are the same people who think he was actually a Republican that whole time and on their side. They're like, watch Charlie Kirk, as Eric Cartman being Charlie Kirk, own a lib. I love South Park so much. They're on our side. It's hilarious.
There's no hope. Like, there's no hope for people like that. And it's just like a reflection of how bad the education system is here. Holy fuck.
But then I love that this ICE episode came as ex-Superman actor Dean Cain. He's the one from the show you didn't watch. He announced that he's joined ICE. That he is becoming a federal ICE agent to participate
for real?
In all of that. Dean Cain was also doing those like Christian movies, the like God's Not Dead movies and shit too. You know, Kevin Sorbo's probably next on the whole thing. These types of people who are always talking about release the Epstein files, and now they're like, no, I'm comfortable with the guy named in the Epstein files a bunch of times being president. I'm good with that.
Wow.
I just love that the timing of him announcing he's going to be on ICE and then ICE being shown to be just a giant garbage sack of bullshit by South Park. It's just wonderful. And Matt and Trey have no reason to stop because their ratings are skyrocketing right now.
Yeah.
So if they think like, oh, well, since we're saying, haha, we like the joke, they're not going to stop doing it because, you know, who else is liking the joke? The record number of people watching their show. So keep promoting it. Keep telling people like, you can keep watching South Park. It's okay that they're attacking us. Please do keep those audiences even higher. Like, I'm looking forward to when they're like, yeah, it's funny, but I do want to talk about one point is how it will begin. But like, I hope you guys do understand.
Yeah, right. Or it's going to be like, I just think that maybe there's a line that that it's being crossed here. Also, Dean Cain is going to get his house fucking blown up. Like, he's going to get his shit rocked. There's no way you publicly come out as ICE and you are a public figure in any way, shape, or form, and you don't get your shit absolutely fucking leveled.
There's a reason why all those people are like masking up. We are not endorsing that.
No, but
we're saying there's a reason why ICE is hiding behind the mask.
Everyone is hiding behind a mask, and this man is a public figure, which means even if his address is not publicly listed, his fucking neighbors know, oh, my neighbor is this guy. Obviously, someone's going to know. Someone's going to put that shit on Reddit, and his house is either going to be blown up or he's going to get poop mailed to his door every day. If he's so lucky, that's what he gets. He gets flaming bags of poop. I'll do it. I'll send him
I don't think it'll be flaming because I don't think they're going to deliver flaming. I think USPS doesn't deliver things that are on fire.
Probably not.
Yeah, wouldn't that be crazy if they'd be like, now with on-fire delivery, we'll light it.
We'll light it.
USPS we're having a lot of trouble with. So for $17, your driver will poop in a bag, light it on fire. If you just order that to places.
God. 17 would be cheap. I would do it.
I want to see if it's a publicly, current residents. Yeah, publicly known. Purchased in 2023, $4 million. Who knew he had that kind of money?
That's crazy.
And yes, his address is, I'm not going to say it because people will be like, but it literally all I had to do was ask AI, what's his address? That's how easy it is to find.
Why? Like, he's an idiot. He's an actual certified idiot.
Dean Cain, if you would like to come on the line and debate me on any of our differences, I will debate the fuck out of you. I will eat Superman's lunch.
Yeah.
Call me Kryptonite. You're not Superman.
No.
And you never really were.
Yeah.
Do you even have friends left from those days? Will any of the actors who worked on that talk to you?
Now he fucking doesn't. Not anymore. If he had them before, he doesn't have them now.
Did you ever have friends? Did anyone like you back then? No. Nobody liked you.
Even if you say yes, are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure? Anyway, enjoy your fucking Instagram posts of you going down and oppressing brown people. Like, that's what it's about. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. There go the puppies. And lastly, we'll probably talk about it more once we see how it develops, but the FBI is apparently launching an investigation to help Texas locate the the Congress people from Texas who fled the state to avoid the redistricting map. Now, they haven't committed to going and arresting them, just helping them to locate them, which I'm glad we're going to now spend millions of dollars of federal money on that to figure out where the people who keep giving news conferences in public places in Chicago are. I'm glad Kash Patel is on the job. You might also just ask them, since it's obvious where they are. So anyway, good for you. Good job. Good job, people. We're going to spend millions of dollars to find the location of people who we know their location. We're just really nailing it. We're fucking nailing it. You're muted.
One thing that we know how to do in this country is spend money efficiently.
Do you know that every Democrat who's come to office, Bill Clinton actually balanced the budget. Every Democrat since has had a lower deficit, has reduced the deficit. Like literally the Republicans outspend, and yet they're the fiscal responsibility. Mm-hmm. The Republicans outspend by a huge margin. Mm-hmm. We are trillions of dollars more with Donald Trump than Obama.
I believe
it. This shit is crazy. It's just gross. It's gross to hear we don't have the money to. And then you get that guy in Nebraska this week telling people we can't have Medicare for all because we can't afford it. The fuck we can't.
The fuck we can't. But we can spray paint gold all over the fucking...
Yeah. Yeah. Because, all right, guys, you aren't going to get health care. Donald Trump needs a solid gold fondue fountain.
Yes.
That will just be spraying his golden urine. Ugh. It's very dark gold because that dude be drinking Diet Coke and not water.
Ew. Ugh, that's so gross. And also he needs to reserve all of his budget to go golfing every day.
Right. Oh, my God. As we go into the outro here, can we talk about them bragging, being like, the president is such a great guy because he is donating his salary that is a fraction of what the taxpayer spends to let him golf.
Right.
We spend millions of dollars every time he goes golfing, and you want me to be impressed that he's giving away a measly $400,000 when also he has made, $5 billion, several $1 billion on his meme coin that is absolutely being pumped by foreign governments to get better favor. Are you fucking kidding me? The only thing more stupid was that little dumb trophy Tim Cook gave to him today. I don't know if you saw that shit, but
why did he give him
I gotta figure out whether I can live a
trophy?
life without Apple. I understand. He's like, maybe if I go give him a dumb trophy with a golden base, the cost of iPhones won't go up for everybody because it looks like I did something and it's minimal and he won't tariff as hard, but Jesus fucking Christ, read the room. Those optics are fucking horrible. I hate this country. We suck. America is almost over. The series finale is approaching.
God.
Eat my ass. It's ass flavored. Dean Cain, eat my ass. It's ass flavored. Who else did I tell to eat my ass earlier? Ammon Bundy, eat my ass. It's ass flavored.
Yes.
Barbecue sauce. Not spicy.
No.
Keep that off my butthole.
Yeah.